Blog Talk Radio.
These are also the proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out.
Glory to the Most High Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of the world, is His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. Protect my son David as he traveled this lonely path. Steer my son far from bloody men. surround him with opinions sharp as daggers. Bless him with a vision to distinguish friends from foes. Bless his listeners with overstanding and patience. Remind the critics that all judgment belongs to thee. May the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy presence, Selah.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, that ye be not partakers of her sins. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, my people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Woe be unto the bloody city that is filled with liars, robbers, and thieves. Woe be unto the bloody city that's filled with liars, robbers, and thieves. Depart from evil and do good. Depart from evil and do good. Yeah. Just look upon the faces of man to see if there was anywhere there. No, not one. No, not one. We all together become foolish and foolish. Didn't accept the wisdom of Jehovah. Depart from evil and good. Depart from evil and good. Whoa, some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, some trust in silver, some trust in gold. I trust in the Most High. I depart from evil and good. Depart from evil and good. Yes. Don't put your trust in medicine. Get the love for humanity. Don't put your trust in medicine. Warrior to the bloody city. It's filled with lions, robbers, and thieves. Woe be unto the bloody city that's filled with lions, robbers, and thieves. Warrior.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, that ye be not partakers of her sins. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, my people, my...
we have today's daily psalm. We have
Psalm 36.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise.
Of only vanity and no love for humanity shall fade away. He who checks for only wealth and not for his physical health shall fade away. Though some believe in diamonds and pearl and feel like they're on top of the world, they shall fade away. Hear what I say. The rich is getting richer every day, and the little that the poor man got, it shall be taken away. Do you hear what I say? Yeah, hear what I say. The man who worships silver and gold shall surely lose his own soul, then fade away. One who's always acting smart and don't carry no love in his heart shall fade away. God is here and there and everywhere, and he knows when you play the game unfair. So people beware, or else you fade away. Hey, beware, or then you fade away. You gotta fade now. so you may get kicked off the shelf. And you got no one to blame but yourself, not the dread, y'all. Yeah.
You speaks of only vanity and no love for humanity.
Roots, man, you got to forward on, I tell you. Yeah. Forward on, roots, man, forward on. Yeah, from dusk until dawn. Come on down and blow your horn and pop your corn, I tell you. Well, only the strong survive, as the man says. And only the fittest of the fittest shall stand in this judgment. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you words are passing free. That's why you got to turn this jubilee until you come on down there with
and the little that the poor man got, it shall be taken away.
If you got your money in your pocket, a roots man I know, it's incapable, but you can lock it down till you, yeah. When I'm passing D&T, I'm gonna spin down on the street, yeah. Hear them say that drunk and put it back, but I man put it forward, yeah. But so you see that's how it is, yeah. Kinda authentic revolutionary, man moving around like mercenary, y'all. Killing each and every day, that's what the brother got to say. No way to run and hide. You kinda got to move with the tide, I tell you. You gotta keep up the stride, I tell you, yeah. We don't be when the ghetto. Forward on, black man, forward on, yeah. Ain't no sunshine when the king power ain't around. So roots, man, you gotta be ground and keep on moving around to this town, yeah.
The rich is getting richer every day.
Some are kind of sleeping on the cops and some are getting really fine. But I see if you don't live above your means, then you'll be around to teach in the scenes, yeah. Black man, you got to know yourself. Or maybe you're gonna get kicked off the shelf, y'all. Black man, you got to know yourself, or you may get kicked off the shelf until you got no one to blame but yourself. Yeah.
It gon' fade away, yeah, yeah. Wait.
These days.
Psalm 94. O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth, O God, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? They break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chastiseth the heathen, shall not he correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? The Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked. For the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. When I said, my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, held me up. In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our God shall cut them off.
מזמור צד ד' אל נקמות אדוני, אל נקמות הופיע, הנשא שופט הארץ, השב גמול על גאים. עד מתי רשעים אדוני, עד מתי רשעים יעלוזו, יביעו ידברו עתק, יתאמרו כל פועלי אבן. עמך אדוני ידכאו, ונחלתך יענו, אלמנה וגר יהרוגו, ויתומים ירצחו. ויאמרו לא יראה יה, ולא יבין אלוהי יעקב. בינו בוערים בעם, וכסילים מתי תשכילו. הנוטע אוזן הלא ישמע, אם יוצר עין הלא יביט. היוסר גויים הלא יוכיח, המלמד אדם דעת. אדוני יודע מחשבות אדם, כי המה הבל. אשרי הגבר אשר תייסרנו יה, ומתורתך תלמדנו, להשקיט לו מימי רע, עד יקרא לרשע שחת. כי לא יתוש אדוני עמו, ונחלתו לא יעזוב. כי עד צדק ישוב משפט, ואחריו כל ישרי לב. מי יקום לי עם מרעים, מי יתייצב לי עם פועלי אבן. לולא אדוני עזרת לי, כמעט שכנה דומה נפשי. אם אמרתי מה תרגלי, חסדך אדוני יסעדני, ברוב שר אפי בקרבי, תנחומך ישעשעו נפשי. היי חברך כיסא אבות, יוצר עמל עלי חוק, יגודו על נפש צדיק, ודם נקי ירשיעו. ויהי אדוני לי למשגב, ואלוהי לצור מחסי. וישב עליהם את אונם, וברעתם יצמיתם, יצמיתם אדוני אלוהינו, 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 אלוהינו.
Rewind and come back, selector.
מזמור צד ד' אל נקמות אדוני, אל נקמות הופיע, הנשא שופט הארץ, השב גמול על גאים. עד מתי רשעים אדוני, עד מתי רשעים יעלוזו, יביע
them crumbling, see the wicked from a distance, clear my path from the top, strong wind blow, with all I don't give them out, and the present they bring, they could never repay for the youth killing, or them a weak heart, the locks in the dark eye, more you live, more you learn, Emmanuel thunder roll, moving him, and all the lion roar, see them crumbling, see them distance, clear my path from the top, strong wind blow, with all other gifts they bought, and the present they bring, they could never repay for black people killing, now them a weak heart, legs in the dark eye, more you live and more you learn, then again, bring down Babylon now, repatriation by any means, anyhow, if they promise to give a token, never bow, many got token, all because they never know, so black with them song will forever grow. Slave us for your pension, then you put us all low. Cause my brothers and the alien soul, they try to kill us, then we're up in the least and the goal. I live, who never rob me soul. True to myself, me and the African blood. Just to Babylon, them a try to destroy the love. So long I've been away and seen a sinking of the mud. In Africa's progress, I feel him does a strong man, them a figure but Marcus Garvey thunder roll, moving in, lion roar, and them guns rumbling. Go from a distance, clear my path from the top, Rasta wind blow, yo, all the gifts they bought from the present they bring, they could never repay for black people killing, now them a weak heart, legs not the dark eye, the more you live, the more you learn, then again, there is no more love amongst mankind, respect for other people. They leave it behind. More free them vanity and them custom design. Negligence of your culture bring you down every time. I've always wanted you to rise and shine. Yes, black people, never you be sleeping in the eyes. Bless all the people you pass on the street side. We need to go and home away from Pharisees and scribes. I take with me the skill man, the nation strife, and all the women who need to see their eyes. Now left out them black style. You see said the black thunder roll, moving in lion roar, and them guys rumbling. Don't keep your distance. Clear my path from the top. Strong wind blown.
My advice to all.
His foundation is in the whole of mountains. Jah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of the O city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there, and the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari.
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong from the womb. Right now, this Torah portion, the 27th key Tazria, if a woman conceives seed, right, or she conceives, Tazria bitareges, right, a woman conceives seed, right, or if she conceives seed. So we have what we have here is the law of the mothership, right, what's falsely called motherhood, but mothership, the law of the matrix, or the law of the womb, right, concerning childbirth, so we can say almost like after, actually the matter is concerning the afterbirth, the nida, the separation, the purification, the blood purification of the womb man after the birth of a male or a female, right, child. And that set apart time, that we could say that recovery time, that Babylon, the world, flesh, and devil, denies the modern so-called womb man, while they make you believe, right, that the Bible was misogynistic, but actually it saw and recognized the need of the womb man that so-called the modern feministic and these movements and all the world, flesh, and devil, right, does not recognize. So that's also another interesting point and matter there as well. But what does the verse say? The wicked are estranged from the womb. So first things first, that guy. Who was that guy? That guy in the Matrix movie, right? What did I always say his name, Morpheus. Interesting, a Greek, a Greek name, Morpheus. What did Morpheus say about the Matrix? Right, we said that no one. I want to find this exact quote of what he says right here. Let's see what he says. Fade, no one can tell you what the Matrix is. The Matrix is a system, right? They said that the Matrix is a system. Okay, no one can be told. This is over here. No one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is from a matrixfans.net quote site right here, some quotes from the movie. So what we found to be interesting is that when we look into the KJV, say we look into the King James Version of the Bible, do we have this still open right here? Let's open up the Word for a moment and continue our search, and let us be told, right, what the Matrix is, and let us tell what the Matrix is. The Matrix, simply speaking right here, you can see it from the Rechem. Rechem, right, the Hebrew 73:58 word, Rechem, Rechem, right, the womb, right, the womb. So we can also call this Torah portion, Ki Tazria, call it the law of the matrix, or the law of the womb, or by extension, the law of the womb man, right, the law of the womb man, especially as regarding the rest and restoration, right? This time, what's called that nida, right? There's both we can say the monthly nida, or like what's called the period, or that menstrual period, that time. And there's also the afterbirth, right? The afterbirth time. Let's see if we find this right here. No one can be told what the, okay, this is one of their fan pages. Let's see if we can just quickly, search on the page. All right, let's see if we can find on, okay, the program just went out. But they said basically no one can tell you what the matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. So we have to look at this word, right? Not just we have to deny ourselves. In other words, our own way of looking at this. The way we're looking at this, we're going to look at it from the world, flesh, and the devil, the system, in the movie Matrix. Even though if one takes the time to enjoy Jah View and then review again the movie, the so-called Matrix movie, you will have a better understanding and also an understanding, right, in grace and in truth. So this Torah portion right here, just to continue with where we were before we had left off. So the matrix, simply speaking, right, is the womb, right? The matrix, simply spoken right here, right, is the womb. Or in the Hebrew, what is known as the rechem, right, the rechem. Now, getting into the etymology of that particular word, it also has the idea of mercy. It has the idea of yielding, right, of yielding, the rechem, mercy and yielding. Now, from our study of the scripture, what is interesting is that since humanity, through the first archetypal parents, Hey Adam and Yua, or Hawa, or Hava, Eve, right, Zoe, ate of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, they were created, right, in that image after likeness, Zakar, Wenik, Abel. They were created very good, right? So humanity, we as humanity, have fallen from something that we can't even, in the present state, right, in the present so-called state of mind, right, in the world, flesh, and devil, we can't even conceive of that. But by study, we get to recognize that, this is the reason why even in the scripture, for example, Revelation, there is like the two womb man, like the two men. There's a good man and then there's a bad man, right? There are the good things and there are the bad things. That tree, the tree of the physics, right, of the phi cycle, right, of the good, right, consequences and results, and the bad or the evil consequences and the results as a part of this first birth, right? The first birth. This is why the Moshiach HaAdon, Yeshua, he says, ye, I and we must be born again. Think about it for a moment. There's the first birth, or that natural birth, right? The neteru, the first birth, right? Where we are born into this elemental reality, and then there is the rebirth, to be born again. It's interesting because when we go to the Gospels, we have the story of Nicodemus. Remember Nicodemus? Nicodemus was that, we can call him that secret, he was like a secret disciple of Ha'adon Yeshua, Kirta Yesus, right? He was a secret disciple. But there's an interesting discourse here that also concerns the womb, right, or the matrix, right, since we have to see it for ourselves, right? But who has the best view, right? Who really has the best view of the matrix, right? It is the creator, it's the architect, right? It is the architect, right? It is the blameless creator, whom fallen men and people have put all the blame. Well, why God allows this? Why this? Why that? Well, why did our first parents choose what they chose? All right, so who has the best view? So let's take the time to enjoy Jah view, and let's look at it his way. So when we go to John's, let's go to Johannes, the Wengel, according to Kedus Johannes, John, St. John, Amlakawi. Let's go to chapter, which chapter? Let's begin with chapter 3, right? Jesus, and Nicodemus, right? The new birth. So the matrix, there is actually two matrices. There's two matrices here, right? So we really come to the crossroads. There's two matrices here. There is that first birth, right? That birth from below, or as Negus Dawid, King David says in the Psalms, he says the lower earth. He says the lower parts of the earth. I think he says that in Psalm 51, which is also has an interesting connection to the theme here in this Torah portion and to a very important aspect of the matrix. What is the matrix? No one can tell you what the matrix is, right? No one can tell you what the matrix is. You have to see it, right? But the blind stares of a million pairs of eyes. Can the blind stares of a million pairs of eyes, can they see it? Right? So we see right here in Psalm 51, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, when Nathan, the prophet, came to him after he had gone into Bathsheba, right? Into the daughter of Sheba, the seven, Sheba, the oath, right? Bathsheba. After King David has he committed adultery here and murder. He slew Bathsheba's husband, Uriah. Or in the Ethiopic is Orion. Orion and the daughter of the seven stars, the seven sisters, Pleiades. Interesting. But it begins off, have mercy upon I, O Elohim, Kedus Selassie, according to thy loving kindness, thy loving kind man, according to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash I thoroughly from mine iniquity, and cleanse I from my chatiyat, my lack, my missing, right? My missing that fulfillment of your will. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my chatiyat, my sin nature, is ever before I. Against thee, against ante, thee only have I sinned. It's interesting what David says here, right? In his sinner's psalm, the sinner's prayer, he says, against thee, speaking to Elohim, Kedus Selassie, speaking to the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Yahweh Ahad, Ahadu Amlak, he's saying, against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Now here's the point that we seek to connect with the matrix, the rechem, the womb, and this particular Torah portion, the 27th sabbatical, known as Tazria, She Conceives, or more fully as Ki Tazria, Bit Pareges, if she conceives seed. Here in verse 5 of Psalm 51, it says, behold, look, see, sight, I was shapen in iniquity, and in chatiyat, in lack, did my mother conceive me. Did my imma, right? My mother conceived me. Now, it's interesting, right? She conceives, David speaking about his mother conceiving him and how. He says again, behold in verse 6, which means look, sight. No one can be told what the matrix is, right? One has to see it, behold. So these two beholds, verse 5 and verse 6, right? Not with just the outer eye, but with the inner eye, right? With the inner eye. Look, sight, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden, right? In the hidden part, or that which is hidden, not seen with fleshy eyes, thou shalt make I to know wisdom, to know chokmah, right? To know the treatment, right? To know wisdom. Now, here it's interesting because David is saying in the inward parts, and elsewhere he speaks of the conception as being likened to the lower parts of the earth, right? So we have that first birth, right? That first birth, that earthly birth, that earthbound. Actually, all of us under the first birth and in the first birth are earthbound. In fact, the earth, right? And this world, in a sense, is like a womb. Did you know that the earth and the world is like a womb, right? And when we are born again, we are able to, return, to where our ancestors had fell from. We are born, out of this earthbound situation. That's only when we are born again. So there's the matrix, right? There's the womb. There's that first birth, that first matrix. And as it said, no one can tell you what it is. I mean, they can tell you, but you're not going to just know from being told, right? You're going to have to know from beholding and being able to see with the inner eye. Now, we was at Psalm 58, where we were before, Psalm 58, and its connection with the womb. And this is Al-Taskit. Al-Taskit. Al-Taskit is, it's an interesting, let's see, right here. Taskit is actually do not destroy. Do not destroy. But here's what's very interesting about this word, if I recall is correct. Shachat, right? Shachat means to slaughter, to slay. It's used in the technical sense in the tabernacle with the Kohanim when the sacrifices, like it's a slay, right? It's one of the operative words. So it says do not destroy in that sense of do not, atatifa, do not destroy, do not slay. And it's a miktam, right? It's a miktam, right, or a miktam, right, of David. Wow. We're looking at the words right here, miktam. Right now, what's so interesting is that when we get to let's go through this right here for a moment as it connects with the womb and as it connects with the matrix. We're still holding in reserve Kedusha Yohanes, right, the gospel according to John chapter 3, where Yeshua and Nicodemus discuss the new birth or being born again, right, being born from above, right, as our first birth that has born us into this cholam, this dream, this simulation, this world, as it were, right? That first birth, that natural birth, right? So you must be born again. Notice, even in the Matrix movie, they had the red pill and the blue pill. These are symbolic tabernacle colors, brothers and sisters, and they have significance, right? According to the way of the line of the tribe of Judah, as Christ said that ye, or the world, flesh and devil, they worship that which they know not. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, or of Yehuda, right? The line of the tribe of Judah. So keep that in mind. The third chapter of St. John, Kedusha Yohanes, John's gospel, where the new birth, right? It will guide you more, right, in coming out of the matrix, or unplugging, right, from the world, flesh, and the devil's system, the devil's mind state, or really the world's mindless state, because they don't have the mind of the King of Kings Christ, right? That kingdom mind, that new mind. Let this mind be in us, the same mind that's in our black Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christos. Amen. So the miktam, right, of David, it says, do ye indeed speak righteousness? Now, this Torah portion has two main subject matters. What are the two main subject matters? Well, one is the law of mothership, or the law of the matrix, the childbirth, afterbirth, right, and that purification, right? And then in chapter 13, that's chapter 12, the law of the mothership, the matrix, chapter 12 of Leviticus, the handbook for the priest. Then in chapter 13, it introduces a sorat, or sarat, right? Limt dawe, sarat, which is translated as leprosy, right? But really, more better would be skin disorders or disease. Now, the connection, right, of skin diseases, right, under the old covenant and what we call leprosy, had to do with the motzi re'ah, the evil speaking, right, the evil speaking. And we have a classic example. Our object lesson is Miriam, right, the sister of Moshe, of Moses and Aaron, right, when she spoke against Moses, Mashu, because he had married the Cushawite, the Cushite. He had married the Cushite, right, or the Ethiopian, the Cushite woman, right? So let's just note that right there, right? So reading here Psalm 58, right? It says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Right? This is pointing to I and we, as the congregation of the King of Kings Christ, do as our words sound in power, right? In his righteousness, in accordance with the Tzedek of Melchizedek, right? With the righteousness of the King of Righteousness, Kedu Selassie, Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, right? That's the first question. The second question here in verse 1 is, do ye judge? Do we judge uprightly? Oh, ye sons of men, ye sons of humanity, ye children of humanity. Yea, in heart, in thought, in feeling, y'all work. We all work what wickedness, it says. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Now, here's the key verse, verse 3. It says, the wicked, the Rasha, right, the wicked, the kufu, are estranged. They zor, right? They take a detour, zor, they go astray. They adulterate themselves from the womb. Remember what the womb is? The womb is the matrix, all right? The womb is the matrix. So they adulterate themselves from the womb, all right? How do they do that? Let's ask David right here in this psalm, how do they adulterate themselves? How do they estrange themselves, right? How do they, what is it right here? Go astray, right, from the rechem, from the womb. It says they go astray as soon as they are born. Remember the law, this is the law of the matrix, right? As soon as they are born, speaking lies. So when we start to study and investigate this Torah portion, we say, oh, how interesting. At first sight, and we had mentioned this on the TJIF, the Thank Jah It's Friday, on Discipleship Radio, the Blog Talk Radio, the podcast from April 8th, right, the Sabbatical Eve podcast. We had mentioned this reference here, where when the Israelites got to like chapter 13, right, that number, right, 13, when they got to chapter 13, right, on the laws, right, concerning skin disease, concerning skin disorders, and let's put this into context. The skin disorders, right, according to the Old Covenant, was a melanated individual, right, contracting bright spots, right, or what ones will call today, I think they'll call like vitiligo, right, vitiligo. I think we had one of the pics over here. Let's see if we can bring this up so one can at least see this right here. Is it here? Here we go, right here. Vitiligo. You remember this verse right here? All right. That was one of the signs that was shown to Moshe. Remember, there was a sign of the rod, right? The rod. And then there was this other sign. And he said that they won't believe one sign, the first sign of the rod being transformed or turned into a serpent, and from a serpent into a rod again. Then it's this second sign. I remember those two signs that was given to Moshe when he was going to step to Pharaoh, right? So notice these hands are of a man of, let's say, color. Let's say a melanated, right? Epidermally speaking, a melanated man who has what they call today vitiligo. They say it's not leprosy. All right. Well, you see, it's kind of interesting because in the Western Gentile, it's really the Gentile word leprosy. You have to go into that. That's where you get some, which is a part of the same root. It springs actually from the same cause. But it's a different transmutation. You know how the various diseases and also bacteria, how they transform, right? They transform. So it's almost like the difference between an orange, like one citrus fruit and the next citrus fruit. They have a common, this is what's key, they have a common denominator. And what the Torah portion is bringing out for us, right, is this common denominator, right? So Moses' hand would have turned just as these, thus proving that he was not white or not a European. So as we've looked at this Torah portion in chapter 13, right, and, concerning that, we've seen like the exposing racism and white supremacy, this fallacy, this folly, this lie, right? So we've often gone here, but then there's a more, as we grow in grace and in the knowledge, here's where we're going, right? Along Yahweh, truth and life, we see that Exodus 4 and 6 says that, and he who he be, Yahweh, or in the KJV, Lord, the Lord said furthermore to him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. Now, what is in the bosom? The heart, right? Isn't the heart in the bosom, right? Put thy hand, put thy hand into thy bosom, right? And he, speaking of Moses, he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, look, sight, his hand was leprous, right, as snow. Now, this whole thing between leprosy and skin disease and skin disorders, it's a nuance, but it needs to be addressed, right? So what they call vitiligo today, right, is a part of what the fullness of we have here in the Torah, right, in the Torah. It can come in many different forms, as we see even in this Torah portion. There's, it can be on a person or within a person. It can be within their clothing, right? It could be within like the walls of a house, like I guess is where they say mold, right? So this bacteria, but the root of it, right, is from improper word sound. The word sound, speaking, right? It's from speech, evil speech. Now, when we say evil, let's put this in the context. It's evil according to the Almighty in His sight, right? Not in, see, we have our own way of saying if one doesn't do what we want them to do, we'll say it's evil, right? But maybe we want them to do something that in the Almighty sight is evil. So what is really evil in that scenario? This is where we have to, have a change of mind. It says, if any come after me, let him deny himself, pick up his cross. Because you're going to come to these crossroads when you have to look at and examine, and examine yourself. And this is what we have in this particular Torah portion right here concerning, the leper, right? Concerning the leper, right? As we have this right here concerning the leper. So when the children of Israel, the Beit Israel and the Bnei Israel came across this area, of scripture, right? Dealing with the leprous and, affections, and other matters concerning the Zarat, right? They became afraid, and somewhat like, oh man, all this leprosy and wow. But Moses, Moses, he told the Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, right? As we speak to even the children of the Ethiopians, right? These are meant for the wicked nations. Right? These are meant for the evildoers and the evil nations, right? But you, as the children of Israel and in the new covenant, right, as the children of the King of Kings in Christ, I and I, the church of the firstborn, I and I, Rastafari, right, called out from among the Jews, the ethnic Israel, and from the righteous of all nations, right? But you are intended to eat, drink, and be joyful, as is written. It is written. As it is written, Psalm 32 and 10, many are the sufferings or the sorrows of the wicked, but he that trusts, right, he that trusts in he who he be, divine majesty, mercy surrounds him, right? Mercy surrounds him. So as we look into the causes, right, this is why it's so interesting when we look at the Psalm 58, right? We look at Psalm 58 as we was looking at Psalm 58 earlier, verse 3, especially where it says the wicked, right? The wicked, the Rasha. And I think we had left off actually speaking about at the Passover Seder, right? There are 4 kinds of children, right? There's a portion of the Passover Seder where we are to speak to the children and to tell. We find this in Exodus as well, to tell and to narrate to our children. All right, this is part of, we can call it the heritage, right? And there's 4 types of children, right? And what's interesting is that one type of child is called the Rasha'ah, the Rasha'ah. It's no doubt that all of us at one time, more or less, have been that Rasha'ah, right? That morally, let's bring this up right here. I think we still have this psalm right here. Yeah, the Rasha'ah. Here we go right here, the Rasha'ah. Right, okay, this is, let's bring that up here again. There we go. Right, the Rasha'ah. Right, we have the Rasha'ah. The morally wrong, but in the concrete sense, right, it's an actively bad person. You know what I'm saying? So it's not speaking of, inadvertent or maybe an occasional wrong, right? Not saying that's right, but not speaking of that, but the one who's actively, right? Where for many defiance. It's interesting how this word is used of, as we said, one of the 4 kind of children, right? One of the 4 kind of children. The first one is the Rasha'ah, the defiant one. So here in Psalm 58 and 3, right, we have it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. All right, so notice the connection right here with this Torah portion, Tazriya, chapter 12, the law of childbirth and the mothership, right, the law of the matrix, and then in chapter 13, the Tzarat, right, the Tzarat, speaking of the skin diseases, the skin disorders, or what is translated in the KJV as leprosy, right? And when we get to now the root causes, what is the root cause? So we're going to take this verse right here, right, and also put it within I exhibit, right? This exhibit as we kind of review coming up on the after the Shabbat, podcast, and still here in the evening, in the early morning hours, the Malada time, before the day, looking forward to this, giving thanks and praise to the King of Kings and the Moshiach, Hashem Yeshua. So, in looking at this right here, right, some of the ancient sages, they had reasoned that anyone who bears evil tales, like a talebearer, right, or what's known as the Lashon Hara'ah, right, the Lashon Hara'ah, right, which is evil speaking or the evil tongue, will be visited by the plague of skin disease or Tzara'at, right? As it is said in Psalm, we go to Psalm 101 and 5, it reads, whoso slanders his neighbor in secret, him will I destroy, right? And the word there is azmit, right? Now the Gemara, it read that azmit to allude to the Tzara'at, and then it cited Leviticus 25:23, and it says, it translates, it says, in perpetuity, right? Or the law zemitut, right? Now, I think Reish Lakish, she interpreted the words of Leviticus 14:2 to say that this shall be the law of the person, right, with skin disease. So we're speaking of the Mesorah. Now, the Mesorah actually is the upcoming Torah portion, right, in this season, right? The upcoming Torah portion in this season right here, actually, I think the 10th, beginning off on the 10th, all right? So let's just connect this, this right here. And so we have the first part of the upcoming Torah portion. Now, usually these Torah portions are together, usually the Tazriya Metzorah. But because of the particular year, right, because of the particular year and the time that we are in, right, season, lunar, the lunar solar calendar, they are separated, right? So we read this separately in a year like 2016. Now, this shall be the law, the Torah of the person with skin disease, or the Metzorah, right? The Metzorah. Now, in the ancients, right, and in the Old Covenant, it's very clear that evil speaking at that time, We have many instances and examples of it. Even in the Haftarah, we can get into the Haftarah as well for this Tazria Torah portion, the 27th sabbatical, right, is connected with the Motzi Re'ah, with the evil speech. So in the interpretation of this means that this shall be the law for him who brings up an evil name. So Reish Lakish interpreted it as this shall be the law or the Torah, right, for him or for one who brings up a Motzi Shem Re'ah, Shem Ra, right, Shem Re'ah, one who brings up. See, because the idea in that it connects with Psalm 104 and 14, and with the second part of the blessing, right, the burake over the lechem, over the bread, right, where we say Baruch Ata Adonai or Baruch Ata Yahweh Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, blessed art thou, he who be our power, eternal King. And the second part, Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz, or Hamotzi, the one who brings forward Lechem. King James translated as food. In the Hebrew, it's more better as bread, who brings forth bread. Min Haaretz, mean from Haaretz, from the earth. So the idea is, and that's, you see, when we look at the idea from the bread coming forward from the earth, we immediately come across the parable, right, of the tears, right? There are the tears and there are the wheat, the inkrdad, like the weeds and the wheat. And to an untrained eye, both of them will seem similar, right? But as you study and as your senses are able to discern good from evil, you'll be able to recognize the difference between the wheat. In fact, the wheat has a more symmetrical, right, while the tears are more jagged, right? The tears are more jagged. So in the further study of the connection, right, with this plague, the plague of the skin disease, and the disease is from such a time. That was a time of, we could say, the ministry of condemnation, right? So it's an object lesson for us in the ministry of grace, right? So the skin diseases, it was taught, came only from slander. Some taught that these skin diseases came only from slanders. Now, many found the proof for this. Many of the ancient Rambam and the Rabbinat, the rabbis, they found the proof, the scholars and the teachers found the proof for that assertion in the case of Miriam, arguing that because she had uttered slander against Moshe, against Moses, on account of him marrying the Ethiopian woman, and this is what now even connects us now with Jeremiah, right? When with the leper, the Ethiopian changing his complexion, his skin, and the leper, his spots, right? Also very important connection, because in reading Deuteronomy 24, 8-9, also supports this when it says in connection with the skin disease or the tzarat, right? The tzarat, it says in Deuteronomy 24, verses 8 and 9, remember what he who he be your power, Yahweh Eloheka, Baruch Hashem, did to Miriam. We did to Miriam. Now others went into this idea of the skin disease, right? How it results, they said, from 7 manifestations of chatat, or the sin and sin nature, right? 1, slander, the shedding of blood, vain oath, incest, arrogance, robbery, and envy, right? And in citing kind of references for this, right, from the Gemara, the scriptural basis, for example, slander, we have Psalm 101 and 5, right? Psalm 101 and 5, right? Anyone who bears evil tales, Lashon Hara'a, will be visited and was visited, right, under the Brit Hashana, right, with Sara'at, right, or with skin diseases. So, we're speaking of evil-speaking black people. I want you to understand that. You know, when we now start to look at that so-called race and white supremacy, leprosy, and that connection that we have made to prove one particular case, right? But now in His grace, we have to investigate this right here. So slander is the first. Then we have for bloodshed, 2 Samuel 3:29. for a vain oath, right, or giving one's word in vain, 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 23 to 27. For incest, right, we have Genesis chapter 12, verse 17. For arrogance, right, for arrogance, 2 Chronicles 26, 16 to 19. For robbery, we have Leviticus 14, 36. Now, ancient Tana or Tana, Tana, right, Tinat, actually, an ancient study had taught that those who collect money that does not belong to them will see a priest come and scatter the money around the street. That was a connection right there with the Torah portion from Leviticus 14:36. Lastly, but not leastly, envy, right, found in Leviticus 14 and 35. 14 and 35. So all of this is part of the first matrix. Let's just recognize that all this is still part of that, first matrix. Now, we can get a little bit more into this right here, but let's just kind of pause for the cause here, on the matrix, because they said that no one can be told what the matrix is, but now we know what the matrix is. The matrix is the womb, right? The matrix, let's bring this up right here. The matrix, once again, the matrix is the womb, right? The matrix is the womb. You must be born again. Let's see if we can touch on, what is it? It's John's Gospel. There was a man of the Pharisees, the religious, leaders, the scholars of their time, right? Like the mega preachers and pastors, like those sort of folks, right? Named Nicodemus. He was a ruler of the Jews, speaking about the black and the brown ethnic Israel that was in Judea. He was a ruler of the Jews, a chief one amongst them. The same Nicodemus, came to Yeshua, came to Jesus by night, right, and said to him, Rebbe, we know that thou, atahu, a teacher, right, come from Elohim. He recognized that Yeshua, Adonenu, was a teacher. He recognized him as a teacher, a Rebbe, right, come from Elohim. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except Elohim, except Kedus, Selassie, Father, right, and the Holy Spirit, right? He's a part of that, but he didn't recognize that right there. But he recognized that no one could do the miracles, the works that he was doing of healing, right, except Elohim. Kedus Selassie was with him, except Amanuel, right, except that the power, Ha'el, right, was with him. Jesus, Yeshua, answered and said to him, Aman, Eunet, truth, true. I say to thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see. Get that right there? He cannot do what? He cannot see the kingdom of Elohim, except a man be born again. No one can be told, right, what the matrix is. He would have to do what? He will have to see it. He would have to sight it for himself, within himself, right? He will have to see it, right? So the master, right, Jesus, Adonenu, he says to Nicodemus, true, right? He admitted that, yes, he is come from Elohim, Ha-Eloheinu, right? He is come from our power, our Father, right? True. I say to you, except unless a man, right, unless a human being be born again. So doesn't that being born again means that it's like a womb? You see the whole womb, that whole womb is there. So the first birth, right, not just that we came from our mother's womb, but we was born into this world, right, this world, right, the world of which the world flesh and the devil's philosophies is, it is a womb, right, but it is also a tomb, right, and this is, remember Babylon? Babylon is called what? Babylon is called a mother, right? Isn't Babylon? Babylon is a mother. Yeah, we could say MF, but Babylon is a mother, right? Mother of harlots and abominations of the planet Earth, All right? And where does these abominations begin? It begins with the motzi re'ah. It begins with the evil speech. It actually begins with the evil thoughts and the evil feelings. All right? But even the thoughts and the feelings themselves are, right, on the metaphysical level, they're speech. Even the thoughts and the feelings are speech. All right? So the Master says to Nicodemus, right, he says that except a man be born again, he cannot see. He cannot behold the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, he cannot see it. He cannot behold. He cannot see it. Now, this is speaking of regeneration, right, of regeneration. So the law of the matrix that we find here in Ki Tazria, right, in the 27th sabbatical in our Torah portion, reading and feedings, right, actually is speaking on generation, right, and overcoming that degeneration that became part of generation, right, because of the chatat, the missing of the mark, the will of Abba Father concerning the Ganet Eden and eating of that tree, right, you know, of the knowledge or the information of good and evil, of the positives and the negatives. So in the Torah portion we have here, Ki Tazria, though it is speaking about the blood and the blood of purification and the set-apart time, but that is a set-apart time of regeneration. After the generation of a male or a female, a zakar or a nekeba, a wind or a sate, right, a male or a female child, for both the mother, right, both the mother and the child. So the law, right, Jah law, actually was prescribing the conditions to avoid the worst effects, so after the afterbirth, the worst effects of the chatat that humanity brought on itself from the disobedience, right? And we're speaking of our first father, according to the parable and the type Adam. Hey, Aleph, Dalet, Mem. Hey, Adam. Awo? Amen. So as we go forward, Nicodemus now says to him, right, said to him, how can a man be born when he is old? So he thought it was a matter of, he thought that, well, a man could be born if he's young, but a man can't be born if he's old. You know, like how a lot of people think. They think like, oh, man, I wish this came out back in my time, you know, at another time, or if I knew this then. Well, you know it now, right? The truth is still true, and especially true right now. Do you know what time it is? Now it is time. Now it's high time to awake out of sleep. Right, to come out of Babylon, right, to be born again is to come out of the matrix, right, to be born again is to come out of the matrix. It is regeneration, and there's a necessity, even like in this Torah portion, chapter 12 and 13, especially chapter 12, only 8 verses, right, the law of the matrix, the law of mothership, the law of childbirth. Many have overlooked the significance of it, because when they look at the parable of it, as the Master said, right, they seeing see, right, but they don't perceive. They hearing hear, but they don't understand. And see, it's important for us in seeing to see and in hearing to hear, but it begins with us denying ourselves, picking up that cross and following Him, taking that yoke, right, that discipline upon us, right, and learning of Him, as I and I are doing right here. So Nicodemus, he asks the question, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb, into his mother's what? Into his mother's matrix, and be born? Now, that's an interesting question. All right. We can tell where Nicodemus' mind was in that sense, that he was thinking of this as my mom's is old and I'm old, and can I go back into her womb in order to be born again, like you say? So that means Yeshua, Adon was using words, you know what I'm saying? But Nicodemus didn't pick up on the spirit of the words, right? He didn't get the inner meaning of the words. He thought, well, to go a second time into the same physical womb. He was looking at the natural things. He was clearly earthbound in his perception, And he was clearly earthbound in his perception. He was thinking, okay, go into his mother's womb. But this is like many of us. When we come and we approach the word, we're like Nicodemuses. We might be great people on whatever level and whatever way that we are, and all that is good. Mitov, me'od. However, to get what the Master says, it's important for us to hear his word, take that yoke upon us, and to learn of him, to deny ourselves. Like if Nicodemus could say, well, this is how I see it, but that don't really make much sense. What does he mean? What does he mean? Well, hallelujah. Moshiach explained in the next verse concerning the matrix, right? And what they explain in the next verse, in verse 5, Yeshua answered, Amen, 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 Amen. Illnet, illnet, true, true. The truth, truth. Veritas, veritas. I say to thee, speaking to Nicodemus, except unless a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elohim. Now, notice what he said at first. If a man is not born again, he cannot see, right? He cannot see the kingdom, right? The Malkut of Ha-Elohim. Then he repeats himself in part and says, except the man be born of water and of Spirit. These two elements, water and spirit, and water is very interesting because water, wucha, right, mai, mayim, right, mai, in the Hebrew and the Ethiopic, the Ge'ez, water is a half spiritual element. Have you ever noticed that? And blood, right, consists of water, right, and blood symbolically is life. So think about that for a moment. So we have water. Right? Water and blood, right, in principle, is based on the same common denominator. But water in itself is half spiritual. Right? This is one reason why it's clear, too. But water is half spiritual. So he said, of water and half spiritual element, and of spirit, a fully spiritual element is spirit. He cannot enter. So to see, to behold, in spirit and in truth is to enter, right? To enter the Christ consciousness, the Christ mindfulness, the Ha-Moshiach mindfulness, the Christ in his kingly character consciousness, to enter into the kingdom of the heavens, right? To enter into the kingdom of Elohim. He says, furthermore, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the carnal is carnal. That which is born of the fleshy, the natural mind, and our natural earthly mind state is just that, is earthly, it's a natural mind state. Thus proving true, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. So of course he's saying that to explain to Nicodemus, no, that's not the way. That's not the way. See, Nicodemus saw it his way, but now he had to see it Yahweh. Right, Jah's way, truth, and life. Right, so the Master goes on to say, marvel not. Don't take this as a wonder or amazing thing. Right, that I said to thee, ye must be born again. That all of us has to be born again. All of us has to come out of the what? A matrix. Right, come out of the matrix. But no one can be told what the matrix is. They will have to do what? See. You have to see the kingdom of Ha-Elohim for yourself. You have to see it for yourself and enter in. But except one is born of water and of spirit, right? So it says, marvel not that I said to thee, ye must be born again. He goes on to say that the wind bloweth where it listeth. In other words, the wind blows where it wants to go. Right? The wind blows where it will. And thou hearest, get that? Thou Shema, right? Tishmoa, right? Thou hearest the sound thereof. Right? We hear the wind, but notice we don't see the wind, but canst not tell whence it cometh. You can't tell where's the wind really coming from. Where does the wind, where is the, how can we say, where is the womb of the wind? Where is the wind birthed from? You ever thought about that? The wind blows around. It's just wind blowing around. You know what I mean? Where does it come from? Where does it come from? right? And whither and where does it go? It seems like the wind is almost like a door opens, right? Like there's a door opening somewhere that the wind comes in and then it goes out. Now, men and people, the world, flesh, and the devil's systems, they explain it in their pseudoscience, right? Science falsely so-called. They try to explain, like a ball bouncing and revolving and all this other kind of heliocentric and all of that nonsense right there. But ask them, where does the wind? They tell us the wind just goes around the globe. Even Satan in the book of Job, he knew that the earth was not a globe. He knew that. He said, when Yahweh asked him, where, from whence have thou come? He says that from going to and fro and up and down in the earth. You over that? He didn't say, well, I've been around the world, I've been around the globe or whatever. No, even Satan knows, right, that the earth is not a globe. And that's interesting because there's all another connection, which is the face of the earth. Because Jehovah's, that use of that word panim, it also shows that, is it flat? Flat? Well, it's plain. This is just the plain, right, the plain truth, that the wind bloweth where it listeth, where it willeth, right, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whence and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the spirit of Ha-Ruach, of the spirit of the Menfes, of the Irit. Okay. Wow, that took me up to that point right there. That's good. I was actually hoping that it would end right around there. Guy from so the mathematical mind state, thus proving true, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. So of course he's saying that to explain to Nicodemus, no, that's not the way. That's not the way. See, Nicodemus saw it his way, but now he had to see it Yahweh, right? Jah's way, truth, and life, right? So the master goes on to say, marvel not. Don't take this as a wonder or amazing thing, right? That I said to thee, ye must be born again. That all of us has to be born again. All of us has to come out of the what? The matrix. Right? Come out of the matrix. But no one can be told what the matrix is. They will have to do what? They will have to see it for themselves. Can you just tell what the matrix is? Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong.
Salamta Beteseb. Greetings and welcome, family, to this special episode of Wisdom Wednesday with the Rastamandem here on Discipleship Radio.
And sing the dark sayings of old. Doth not wisdom and knowledge stretch forth her hands? Unto you, O children, I cry. All the words of my mouth speak righteousness. All the days of my life will tell. Take heed of the works of Jehovah, or man you will surely fail. Sorrowful, your folly is your reward. Better a dinner of herb where love is than feasting where there is wrath. All the words of my mouth speak righteousness. All the days of my life will tell. Take heed of the works of Jehovah. Amen, you will surely fail. Oh yeah, na na. upright, for this is the time that will tell, when the righteous ones shall stand up strong. Oh, why did the heathen rage? All the words of my mouth speak righteousness. All the days of my life will tell. Take heed of the works of Jehovah. A man you will surely fail. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah, that you will surely fail. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah, now. Should I will open my mouth in a parable and sing the dark sayings of old? Does not wisdom and knowledge stretch forth her hands unto you, O children, I cry. All the words of my mouth speak righteousness. All the days of my life will tell. Take heed of the works of Jehovah. A man you will surely fail. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah, now. Leave us now. Leave us. Never give up righteousness. Oh yeah, now. Keep it up. Follow the footsteps of your father. Oh yeah, now. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. I hold her. I said I hold her.
سلمون مال أرسو بفيته بونتنا. These are also the proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out.
Here we have today's daily song. We have song.
You better purify your heart when you know yourself. If not by how long you go, you're not here. Say that you know Selassie. If not by how long you go, you're not here. You come and say that you know Selassie. You're going to church on Sunday. There's no love in your heart.
Psalm 36.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, his own eyes, his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise, 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 to rise.
Mizmor Lamed Wow. Mizmor Lamed Vav. Mizmor Lamed Wow. Lamnat Eyach Le'aved Yehovah Le'David. Lamnat Eyach Le'aved Yehovah Le'David. Lamnat Eyach Le'aved Yehovah Le'David. Ne'uma Pesha'a La Rasha'a Be'kareva Levi Eina Pachad Elohim Lenegeda Ainayu. For the leader, the chief musician, the psalm of David, the servant of Hashem, of Yod He Weh of Adonai. La Menat Eyach Le Eved Yehovah le'Ebedi Yahuwah le'David. And set of words right here we have in today's daily psalm, Psalm 36, the Lamed. We have the Lamed Gimel. And the psalms in this series of psalms here, according to the Royal Order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, is particularly interesting thematically, speaking of the theme Chabarim and the fellow Talmudim and our fellow disciples. And here, giving an ear to what the small still voice of Rabbeinu Yeshua HaMoshiach, and our rabbis teaching on our spirit and in truth, as one of the fellows and even the student teachers, but student tutor here. Let me share a couple of first words right here on today's daily psalm, the 36th psalm, to chief musician. A psalm of David. Interesting, David. Le-Ebed Yehovah. Le-Ebedi Yehovah. Le-Ebedi Yehovah. Le-Ebedi Yehovah. Le-David. The Ebed Yehovah. The Ebed of Hashem. The Ebed of Adonai. He is the servant, the Ebed. Le-Ebed. Le-Ebed. Le-Ebed Adonai. Le-David. Transgression of the wicked saith. Now, KJV here has the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart. Then there's the italicization, and we've been speaking a lot of the italicization, especially at the first degrees, the basic, just the basic levels. KJV, you know, hopefully ones and ones have their scripts, you know, if they are able to be in the studies, but when they get a chance, opportunity, check out the KJV and also get a good Schofield Study Bible, Chabarim. All right, a good Schofield Study Bible. Interesting, the theme of today's daily psalm, and let's just bring some of the other tools that we have here as well, because for a workman to study to shew thyself approved to Elohim as a workman that need not be ashamed. rightly dividing or explaining, right? To explain, dividing the word of truth. You're hearing a bunch of words and you take the true, right? That which is true in Jah's sight, you know, because you have the right study, the right perspective of heart and mind. It's a study to show yourself approved as a workman that need not be ashamed, because there might be ones doing work, but they have not studied. So we need the tools as well, right? So one of the tools is the Bible, the scripture, Schofield Study Bible, Basic English. Now here, in the Basic English, we have the superscription. We touched on that. To the chief musician, a psalm. Now note the psalm word. A psalm is italicized because it's not there in the Hebrew. In the Hebrew we have la menatseyah le ebediyawa le dawi. So we have to the chief musician of David, the servant of the Lord. That's what will be there. But now, of course, we have a psalm because it helps to kind of supply the sense, especially for the Western Gentile, the reader. But here, in returning to the groundation, the roots, we have the transgression of the wicked saith, it says in the KJV, within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. No fear of God before his eyes. Now, I note right here in my Bible, the hard copy, I circled in a red pen, my heart, there in the first verse. Second verse, I circled until, and then I also circled to be hateful. There's my heart until to be hateful. These are the words I circled. I'll take maybe a snapshot, you know, not screenshot, but a snapshot of it so ones and ones can see it. Now, what I did and used to do in my older Bibles, I had another Bible. It wasn't a Schofield Study Bible. It was a KJV. It was actually one that had even, you know, King James, the preface, like the Mekdem, you know, that he had. Very, very interesting read. You know, had some of the early things that were published in the first one. A lot of us, we have the King James Version, but there was additional, you know, that's what some point to the 1611 and certain other documents, and I would share that with them as far as getting a fuller fold. That's why we recommend the Schofield Study Bible. But right here, getting into today's daily psalm, and just right here at the gate, you know how we like to do the Abu-Gi, right? Abu-Gi or the ABGs. The first three verses often to get a good context of the psalm. So here we have divine loving kindness. Today's daily psalm is themed as divine loving kindness, themed that way in the Sefer Tehillim here in the Hebrew Psalter, right? The main theme is the attributes of Elohim. The main theme in today's daily psalm is the attributes, the midot of Ha-Elohim, particularly his love for his creatures, his love for his creation. Its glory is brought into prominence by being set beside the sinfulness, the uckfulness of the wicked, of the ratchet, the rasha, the rasha'i. Now the poem in the Kufuot by Marinya speaking, the poem, it begins with a characterization of the godless, the characterization of the Jah-less, those without Jah, but soon turns from their sordidness to extol, to big up the goodness of the true good, the true God, Ha-Elohim, in language of striking beauty. This is what we have in today's daily psalm as a basic overview of the Lamed Wow. Lamed Wow, some might say Lamed Vav, Lamed Wow. Psalm XXXVI, Psalm 36, and here this psalm here in the Royal Orders, today's daily psalm, Psalm 36. Though evil men, ratchet men plan to harm and to hurt others, the psalmist and I and we of the church of the firstborn, of the new name, that precious name, Rastafari, we are confident in the victory, the Yeshua, the victory, salvation of the good over the evil, that Ha'adon, that Adonai, Jah, Rastafari is the just ruler. Right, the just ruler of the earth, earth's rightful ruler, who gives and sustains, a sustainer the sustainer of the light of the firstborn of the chosen nation, sustains all life, the sustainer, the good, the generous Ab, Father. So, I pray, speak words, sound and powerful, divine baraka, blessing and protection, guidance and protection, and anticipating. This is the key. Anticipating, looking forward to judgment of the wicked, of the ratchet. This is what this psalm, today's daily psalm, is all about. So, looking at this first verse right here, let's take a look at this first verse right here, particularly in the Hebrew. So what we have in today's daily psalm, let's just look at this right here. We have the Aleph verse in the Hebrew. The Aleph verse, the first verse is a superscription. So that means the verses are off by one particular verse. Just to point that out to the brothers and the sisters right there. But in the English, we have this. It says, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. Now here in the Hebrew, the Sefer Tehillim, we have Ne'um Pesha La Rasha B'Kareva Libi B'Kareva Libi Ein Pachad Elohim L'Negeda Ayinaya Neged Ainayo. The translation, transgression, speaketh to the wicked, methinks. There is no fear of God, Elohim, let's say Elohim, before his eyes. Ein pachad, there's no fear, there's no dread. Ein, without pachad, without any fear or dread of Elohim. Ein pachad Elohim Linneged Ainayo. Linneged Ainayo. Before his eyes. So the first word we have is Ne'um. Ne'um. In the Hebrew text, the word Ne'um, a Ne'um is oracle. And this appears at the beginning of the next verse as well. We have this at the beginning of the next verse. We have an oracle. Interesting. We have an oracle. All right? It's like verse 2. Like in verse 2 right here, for he is too proud to recognize and to give up his uckery. Right? In the Hebrew text, because the superscription is considered verse 1. The superscription is considered verse 1. So the resulting reading is an oracle of the rebellion of the wicked is in the midst of my heart, is how some Bibles translate it, looking again at the Hebrew. That's what we have here, the Ne'um Pesha'a La Rasha B'Karev Levi would be translated as an oracle of rebellion for the wicked is in the midst of my heart, apparently means, some say, that the psalm, the Mizmor, which foresees the downfall of the wicked, of the ratchet, the Rasha'i, is a prophetic oracle. So some look at this based on this first word we have, Ne'um, the oracle. Based on this prophetic oracle about the rebellion of the wicked, which emerges from the soul of the psalmist. So this oracle against the rebellion of the wicked, right, is emerging, we could say even emanating in that sense, coming forward, coming out from the soul of the psalmist. And who was the psalmist here? Le'ebedi Yahuwah. Le'ebedi Yahuwah. Le'ebedi Yahuwah. Le'David. Of David, the servant of Adonai, the servant of Hashem. Yod Hey Weh Hey. So one could translate as, here is a poem written as I reflected on the rebellious character of evil or ratchet men, based on this superscription in the Hebrew. And Ne'um Pesha. Ne'um Pesha La Rasha B'Kareva Levi. Instead of what we have here, transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks, or in the KJV, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart. Then they put in the italicization that there is, and then outside of that, no fear of Elohim before his eyes. So the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, no fear of Elohim before his eyes. in that context? Does that work? Another option followed in translation above is to attach, right, the Neum or oracle with the superscription. For another example of a Davidic poem beginning and being labeled an oracle, we have in 2 Samuel chapter 23 and 1, where it says, these are the final words of David, of Dawid. It begins off in the Hebrew as the oracle of Dawid, son of Jesse. The oracle, the Neum, the oracle of the man raised up as the ruler chosen by the Elohai Haliyah of Yaakov, Yisrael's beloved singer of songs, a sweet singer of Yisrael. So the rebellion of the evil man is in the midst of my heart. The translation assumes that sort of translation, a reading in the midst of my heart, where it uses in the Hebrew big karev or kareb Levi, in the midst of my heart, Levi. The translation assuming the midst of his heart to the core instead of in the midst of my heart, a change which finds, some say, support in a few of the medieval Hebrew manuscripts or MSS. Now, the Hebrew text of Oregon's hexapla or hexapla, Hexapla, and the Syriac as well. The Hebrew brings out, there is no dread of Elohim. Ein pachad Elohim lineged anayo. Before his eyes, there is no dread. Ein pachad Elohim. There's no dread, pachad, of Elohim before his eyes. Lineged anayo. Before his eyes. The phrase dread of God. The dread of God. The pachad Elohim. It refers to a healthy respect for Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, which recognizes that he who be who he be will punish evil behavior, or that there are consequences, especially in the blameless creation. There's a consequence, or one may look at it as that Elohim signifying the judgment name, or the Shofet Mishpot name, will judge and will bring it into judgment, unlike the atheistic sentiment riding through some of the Psalms, even in this season, where it says, Ein Elohim, that there is no Elohim, Hebraically to imply that there is no judgment, do what thou wilt. It goes on as it always does. Look, there's some evil, bad thing happened, and if there was a God, somebody will punish them. That sort of Ein Elohim attitude. As far as Elohim not existing, in the sense of there's no God, that's not the Hebraic sense. That right there, that's a philosophical bullshit, basically. And most people will say, well, I'm an atheist, there's no God. That's your God. Your no God is your God. But they don't understand what God is, and that's maybe the problem right there. But anyway, this is just the opening right here, looking at this first, this first opening verse right here, the divine loving kindness, the divine loving kind man, and we're going to pick up on this a little bit more. Take a Selah.
And Selah right here, speaking of pachad, fear, pachad, dread, terror, pachad, next. Thank you.
Oh, coming to the area. Let's see that. Oh, you're telling fire, אני ראיתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם לשיר איתי ביחד. אני ראיתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם לשיר איתי ביחד. הייתי שרסטמן, בוי 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 בוי. הייתי שרסטמן, בוי 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 בוי. הייתי שרסטמן נלחם כל יום כדי לנשום, אומר תודה לאל כשהוא קם וכשהולך לישון, מפרנס את המשפחה, דואג לחברים
חברים שדואגים להרים את הווליומים בספיקרים. הייתי שרסטמן ישראלי אסלי, לא מתעסק פה בחרטות ומדבר רק רסמי. אז מי איתי תשימו יד אחת למעלה, איצ'יבן מספר אחד אז יאללה. אני הייתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם נשאיר איתי ביחד. אני הייתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם נשאיר איתי ביחד. הייתי שרסטמן בוי 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 בוי, הייתי שרסטמן בוי 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 בוי. אין בי פחד להעיז ולהגשים את החלומות, לשחות נגד הזרם ולשבור את המוסכמות. אומר את האמת שלי, לא לוחץ על ברקסים, דוגרי נטול שקרים או אינטרסים. שולח כבוד לאחים שהאמינו והשפיעו, בא מהשכונה הזו אף פעם לא שוכח מיהו. מריץ את הדיבור בין הבניינים, יודע שיש אחד למעלה שמנהל את העניינים. נותן לכולם יחס שווה, חשוב תמיד לזכור, בלי קשר לדעת גזע מין עדה או צבע עור. רואה כל החיים את כולם נלחמים נגד עצמם, אז תמיד דוגל באהבת חינם. אני הייתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם נשאיר איתי ביחד. אני הייתי שרסטמן ואין בי פחד, כולם נשאיר איתי ביחד. הייתי שרסטמן בוי 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 בוי, הייתי שרסטמן בוי 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 בוי. אמת למען האמת, חי ובועט את חומות בבל בלמודד. הלב דופק, הפלאפון רוטט, ברחובות משוטט, מכיתה ט' לא מסתלבט. ילד מבולבל, ספק דיסלקט, בזמן צבא חולם לפרוט, בינתיים מתקלט בשביל הכסף, מבין שגם צריך להתפרנס. יו! Evil boy, everything takes time.
מזמור למדבג
Psalm 36.
למנצח לעבד אדוני לעבד אדוני לדוד.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart.
נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו, נגד עיניו, נגד עיניו. מזמור למדבב למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי, אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו. כי החליק אליו בעיניו, למצוא עוונו לשנוא. דברי פיו אבן ומרמה, חדל להשכיל להגיב. אבן יחשוב על משכבו, יתייצב על דרך לא טוב, רע לא ימאס. אדוני בהשמיים עם חסדך, אמונתך עד שחכים. צדקתך כהררי אל, משפטיך תהום רבה, אדם ובהמה תושיע אדוני. מה יקר חסדך אלוהים, ובני אדם בצל כנפיך יחסיים. ירוויון מדשן ביתך, ונחל עדניך תשכם. בעמך מקור חיים, ואורך נראה אור. משוך חסדך ליודעך, וצדקתך לישרי לב. אל תבואני רגל גאווה, ויד רשעים אל תמידני. שם נפלו פועלי אבן, דוחו ולא יכלו קום. מזמור למדוו,
Psalm 36.
למנצח לעבד אדוני, לעבד אדוני, לדוד אדוני, לדוד אדוני, לדוד אדוני.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart.
נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו, עיניו,
Rastafari, Abba Gada, Awagada, Taya Kaya Manasa Ipatada, Warashada.
Yahweh behashamayim hasideka, emunatika ada shehakim, tzidkatika beharare el, mishpatika tehoma reba, Adam huwa behema toshia Yahweh, ma yakara hasideka Elohim, uvne Adam b'tzel knafeka yechesayun, Yirawiyuna mideshena beiteka, Winahala edaneka, Tas tashikim, Kia imeka, Mikora hayim, Beoreka, Nire hora. Thy loving kindness, O Yahweh, Yahweh, Behashamayim hasedeka, is in the heavens, Hashamayim, Yahweh, Behashamayim, Hasedeka, Emunateka, Ada Shehakim. Thy faithfulness, thy truth, thy veritas, thy verity, thy reality, Emunateka, thy faithfulness, thy realness, Emunateka, Ada Shehakim, reacheth to the skies, thy mercy, O Yahweh, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth to the clouds. More correctly, Ada Shechakim. The Shechakim is the skies. The Shemayim, Hashemayim is the heavens. I have this right here in the fifth, picking up the fifth to the ninth verses, the attributes, the midot of Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God. Yahweh behashamayim hasedeka, emunatika ada shahakim, tzidkateka beharare el. Thy righteousness is like the mighty mountains. KJV has thy righteousness is like the great mountains. It's interesting here in the Hebrew we have Sidakateka, the eyes righteousness, Sidakateka, Biharare, like the mountains like the mountains of like the mountains of God, like the mighty mountains or the mountains of Sidakateka, Kuharare. Kaharare el, see the kateka kaharare el, mishpateka tehoma reba, Adam uvahema, Adam ubehema, toshia Yahuwah. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains or the mountains of El, kaharare harar, harare el. Thy judgments are a great deep. Mishapateka, tehom reba, like a great deep. O Yahweh, thou preservest man and beast. Thou savest man and beast. Adam uvahema, toshia Yehovah. Man and beast, thy eye preservest. So the attributes begin in the heavens, Bi Hashemayim, of he who be, who he be. With Hasedeka, his loving kindness, his mercy. With rapid flight like a bird released from some foul earthly cage and entangling nets and nooses, the psalmist in I rises skyward, upward to higher heights. There, Bit Hashemayim, in the heavens and beyond them, there, Ada Shechakim, in the skies and above them are the loving kindness, Hasedeka, and the faithfulness, Emunateka, the eyes, loving kindness, the Chesed and the Emunah of Elohim, twin qualities which assure and assure to all who receive and who trust in him and he who be, we be, that he will fulfill his promises, his yea and amen, and that these are full of grace and comfort. So the phrases in the heavens and to the skies, Bi Hashemayim and Ad Shechakim, they indicate the limitless magnitude of these divine midot, the divine attributes, the attributes of Hashem, of he who be, who he be, like the mighty mountains, or the great mountains, as KJV brings it out. Here we have it more direct from the Hebrew, Sidakateka, the eyes righteousness, the eyes judgments, the eyes righteousness, justice. Kaharare, like harare, like the mountains, the hars. Kaharare el, like the mountains of El, like the mountains of the true El, the true good, the true God, symbolizing the idea that they are immovable and eternal, like the great deep, mysterious, unfathomable, inexhaustible, as the vast subterranean abyss of the waters. Thy judgments are a great deep. Mishpateka, tehom reba, tehom, the deep, reba, the great deep. Mishpateka, the eyes judgments, tehom reba. Adam Behema uvehema, Adam behema, toshia Yahuwah. Man and beast, the eye preserveth, so he who be, Elohim cares for all his creatures, even the meanest of the animals he careth for, and he saveth. Adam behema, toshia Yahuwah. We have this also in Psalm 145, round about verse 9. Thus, the next word sound is how excellent is thy loving kindness, thy loving kindness, O Elohim. Therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. Ma yakara chasedeka Elohim, uvnei adam b'tzel kanafeka, ye chesayun. How precious is thy loving kindness, O Elohim. Ma yakar, ma yakar chasedeka Elohim. How precious. Yakar, ma, how. Yakar, precious. Chasedeka. The eyes chesed, chesedeka. Elohim, Elohim. Uvene, B'tzel knafeka yechesayun. And the children of men, the B'nai Adam, B'tzel, the tzel, the shadow, the shade, by way of under, on, in the tzel, the shade, knafeka, of the eye, knaf, the eye's wings, yechesayun, taking refuge, precious. It is man's priceless treasure. Children of men, the B'nai Adam. See more on this in Psalm 8, around about verse 5. There's the Adam and there's the Ish. Not all man is the same man. Elohim, the Father of all, offers his protection, his guidance and protection to all humanity, to all human beings who, in their frailty and honesty of their frailty, have need of it, have need of he who be who he be. The phrase tzel knafeka, in the shadow of thy wings, b'tzel knafeka. More on this we have in Psalm 57, round about verse 2. Here in the section, the attributes of Ha Elohim. Here, moving forward to verse 8, they shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. Picking up here in the 8th verse, KJV, which will be the 9th verse here in the Sefer Tehillim, but the Hebrew, Yirwiyun mideshena betika. They are abundantly satisfied. Yirwiyun mideshen from the fatness, or with the fatness, mideshen betika, of the eyes, betika. The fatness of thy house. Elohim is thought of as a bountiful host. The host with the mostest, the almighty host, in whose house is bait, guests receive abundance of comforts. With nachal, idaneka, tashkem, and thou makest them drink of the river of thy pleasures. With nachal, idaneka, Tashkem, river of thy pleasures, the river of thy pleasures, the Nahal Edaneka, rivers of thy pleasures. The delights which he provides flow in a refreshing stream, even the stream of the true Christ consciousness. Let this mind be in you. Refreshing stream. In evaluating these metaphors, the Hebrew mythos, it is well to remember that the psalmist and I speaks the language of what is true and wholesome mysticism, the true logos, the true gnosis, without which religion, or so-called religion, is feeble, formal, ceremonial, and empty. Verse 9 KJV, for with thee eye is the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. For with the eye is the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. Ki. Okay. Ki imeka mekor hayim. Be'oreka nireh or. For with thee, ki imeka, im, we have the im here, im, like Imanu, Immanuel, Imanu, with us, El, the power. Ki imeka, ka, with the eye, male. Ki imeka, with the eye, mekora hayim. Mikor, the fountain of Chayim, Chai, of the life, Chayim, of lives. Be oreka, be oreka, be in by way of oreka, the eyes or. Be oreka, nireh, or, nireh. Or, nireh hor. In thy light, nireh hor, we see or, we see light. Fountain of life, mikor chayim. Mikor chayim. Not only physical existence is meant, he who he be is the source of all the virtues, strengths which give to life a higher and nobler aspect. More on this in Psalm 34, round about verse 13, 12, 13. In thy light, beautiful verse here, in thy light do we see light. Be oreka nireh or. Be oreka nireh or. Only by means of the light, which emanates from Elohim, the Word, is man able to perceive the more exalted purpose of living. Remember, man is not emanated from a deity, but that true light which emanates and radiates from the Logos, the Word, Ha-Elohim. Man is able to perceive more exalted purpose of living, the true life, the true state from the fallen state, or the light which the psalmist and I sees, see, and hope still to see, sight, is the light of that joy and peace. When I pray, Jah, when I pray, answer me with the answer of shalom, which springs from the sense of Ha-Elohim's favor, and which are better even than the visible mercies of which they give the assurance. So we have this verse here which concludes the section, verses 5 to 9, the midot of Ha-Elohim, the attributes of Elohim. And then upcoming, the concluding section, verses 10 to 12, the concluding prayer right here. But that verse right there, Be'oreka nireh hor, Be'oreka nireh hor. In thy light do we see light. Seen, sight, 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 sight.
የሚያየንን አየነው፣ የሰማንን አወቅነው፣ የዳሰሰንን አገኘነው፣ የአብርሃምን አምላክ የሚያየንን ጌታ ኤልሮሂምን 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 ኤልሮሂምን.
Here we have the last part of today's daily psalm, Psalm 36, the Lamed Wow. Lamed Vav, what some would say, but the Lamed Wow. The 36th Psalm, Psalm XXXVI. Esteem divine loving kindness. And the first verses 1 to 4, was a portrait, or the portraits profiling, the ratchet profiling the Jahless, the godless, the Jahless, giving a profile, all right, profiling them, these and those, and then contrasting these and those, the chet'u kafat, the ratchetness of the Akka, with the attributes of Elohim, Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, in verses 5 to 9. Now, here in the concluding portion, verses 10 to 12, the concluding prayer. We have the concluding prayer for this psalm which is also themed and called an oracle. In the Hebrew, from the Hebraic of it all, it's known as an oracle. An oracle. I find the name to be very, very interesting, Hebraically speaking. This once again, just as we conclude, this is the concluding prayer right here. See, it's men and evil and men and people, they seek to harm other. Man to man is so unjust. Children don't know who to trust. The psalmist and I's confidence and the confidence in the victory of Adonai, Jah, Rastafari, the victory of Jah and Jah good over the evil, because Adonai is the just ruler of the earth, earth's rightful ruler, who gives and he sustains, the sustainer, the good, the generous Ab, Egazi, Abher, the sustainer, the generous father, the good father, he who he be. So here we are praying for the divine baraka, the blessing, the guidance, and receiving the guidance and the spirit, the word become flesh, and I, and I, and I, and I, and I. And thus we receive that protection, that guidance, protection, and we can anticipate and expect Ha-Elohim's judgment of the ratchet, of the wicked, right? So we have the Neum, the oracle of rebellion for the wicked, the ratchet. The identification on the ratchet, this oracle, it comes from the heart. It's heartical here. In the servant of he who be, who he be. Ebedi Hoa, speaking of Dawid, the Ebed Yahweh. So the oracle of the rebellion, right, of the ratchet, foreseeing the downfall of the wicked, of the ratchet. It's a prophetic oracle about the rebellion from Yahweh, truth, and life. Amongst the wicked, the ratchet, the transgressors. It emerges from the heartical, from the soul of the psalmist, from the soul of the servant, the Ebedi Yehovah, the servant of Jehovah, and Dawid right here. So, as we said earlier, we could have translated, it could be translated, here is a poem, a composition written as I reflected on the rebellious character of evil men, as I reflected and meditated on the ratchet, the transgressors, the traitors. Now, another opinion, as we said, is to attach the Neum, this oracle right here, is a rebellion of the evil man, right? In the midst of his heart, to the core, to the midst of I and I heart, to the midst of his heart. So heartically must be received right here. And coming through that opening profile, we get the opening profile in the first verses 1 to 4. If you read in KJV wise, right, that'll be verses 2 to 5. If you look at the Sefer Tehillim, the Hebrew, but this one, the basic low degrees to high degrees. Then we have the attributes, the midot ha-Elohim, midot ha-Elohim, the midot of the true good, the true God of Yod Hey Weh Hey, he who he be, giving expression to who he be. His attributes, who he be, in verses 5 to 9. Now here, in verses 10 to 12, we have this on the KJV. Just to complete this here, this is almost a psalm. The psalm's like a liturgy, right? As we start to study it and see its construction and how it's built, right? And what the psalm is for. And I know what the gathering, or knowing what the psalm is for. So here, in the concluding verses right here, we have this KJV-wise. Let's ride up with this right here. Verses 10 to 12. All right, verses 10 to 12. So in the KJV, verses 10 to 12. Oh, continue. The last line in the attributes is for with the eye is the fountain of life. In thy light shall I and we see light. Shall we see and receive the light, right? The streams, right? Even the streams, the higher streams, right? Not only the physical light or life is meant, but the source of all the true strengths, the virtues, which gives to life and the liberty a higher, a more refined, a nobler aspect, right? In every respect, respectfully speaking. In thy light do we see the light. In the eye light do we see the light. And thus we pick up right here with verse 10. Oh, continue thy loving kindness to them that know the eye. Find this to be very, very interesting. Just in the Psalm Medi here, in the season, the reason for the season. Oh, continue. It doesn't say start. Oh, start out. No, continue. Oh, continue thy loving kindness. Continue thy loving kindness. Continue thy loving kindness to them that know the eye. So is there a condition here? Is there a condition right here? All right? There is very clearly a condition right here. Right? Mishok hasedeka, li yodaeka. Yodaeka. To those who know the eye, yodaeka. Continue thy loving kindness. Jah's loving kindness, the chesed here, chesedeka, the chesedeka, speaking to he who be, who he be. Mishok hasedeka, li yodaeka, for those who yodaeka, yada, 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 ka, the eye, who know the eye. So Jah's loving kindness is not a theory, a speculation, a philosophical assumption, but it has been actually and really in reality experienced by those who acknowledge Those who acknowledge, those who know, who have the gnosis, be still and gnosis. Be still and know this. Who acknowledge he who be who he be. So the psalmist and I, therefore we pray, word, sound, power, the words of I and I mouth, the meditation of I and I heart, for its continuance. So recognizing the reception of his chesed, chesedo, chesedeka, as we speak to he who be, mishoka chesedeka, li yodeeka, with sidakateka, li yisharei lev, lev, and thy righteousness to the upright, to the Yisharei lev, Yisharei Yasha, upright, Yashar, the Yasharel, Yisrael, Jeshurun, the upright of El, the upright of the true good, the upright of the true God, the man who sees the true good, the man who sees the true God. Oh, continue, Meshok Hasideka, Le Yodaeka, with Sidakateka, Le Yisharei Lev, praying for the continuance. Now, I love this verse, Ray. This is a very powerful verse, a good be still and gnosis verse. This is a very good be still and gnosis verse. Oh, continue. After all that has been said, oh, continue. Not start, but continue. Continue thy loving kindness, not just to I, just to me, or just to I, but to I and to those who know, who have that gnosis of the I. Mishoka hasideka le yodaeka, with sidkateka le yishrei, to the upright, yishrei, the upright in heart, heartically, heartical. Allah tivoeni, Allah tivoeni, regel gaewe, or gaeva. Some say gaeva, the gaiva in modern Hebrew, gaiva, the proud, the regel gaiva, the foot of pride. Let not the foot of pride, ala tivoeni, regel gaiva. Let not the foot of pride overtake I, and make not the hand of the wicked, the ratchet, drive I away. With yad rishaim, al tinideni, don't let the hand and the works of the wicked, the rishaim of the yad, with yad rishaim, al tinideni. The petition, there's a petition here. Making a petition in this verse must be understood in connection with verses 2, the earlier verses 1 and 2. Right? The transgression, right? That speaketh to the wicked, to the ratchet in his heart, in the wicked's heart. This meditation upon the ratchetness of the ratchet. Right? So the petition in this verse must be understood in that connection. He and I, we pray, word, sound, power. The words of I and I mouth, the meditation of I and I heart, to be spared from the activities of the transgressors, of the rebels, might against Yahweh, truth and life, lest he and I and we be driven from I and I home, be driven from home, be driven from the true spiritual, the conscious home, driven out of that higher state, that higher perception, where in his light do we see the light. The foot of pride here represents the ruthless, the ones with their pride, their arrogancy, they trample upon the weak. See, in today's daily psalm, the divine loving kindness and the profiling, right, the portraits and the profile of the ratchet is very, very important. Pointing out the transgression, pointing out the hate, right, pointing out the pride, right. These are those that we must overcome. Man must overcome himself in Jah word, truth and life, Jah word, that word becoming flesh. So don't let the foot of pride might overtake I, both in the sense of those proud and arrogant ones overtaking I and I, or in the sense and or us becoming like them. Don't let the foot of pride overtake I, and make not the hand of the wicked, the ratchet, drive I and I away. This final verse right here says, Sham, Sham naflu. Po'ele awen. Po'ele awen. Po'ele aven. Po'ele. The workers, the doers of awen, aven. Aven. Po'ele aven. Sham naflu. Po'ele aven. Po'ele awen. There. They are. Sham. Sham. There. They are of the workers. Right, the workers there fallen, the workers of iniquity. Sham naflu po'ele awen. Dohu awilo yakalu akum. Dohu, they are thrust down. They are thrust down. Dohu, velo yachlu, velo yachlu kum. And are not able. They are not able with law, yaklu. They are not able, literally, and no ability, kum, no ability to kum, no ability to rise. Dohu with law, yaklu, kum. They are thrust down. Dohu with law, yaklu, kum. They are the workers of iniquity fallen. In his implicit and implicit faith, Haimanot, Emunah, Imnet, he and I we seeing the answer. We're seeing the answer to I prayer. As the servant of he who be Dawi, right, saw and see at this point here the answer to the prayer, the words of our mouth, the meditation of our heart, before it has taken place in time. This is what the words of Rovain, what we pray for, knowing and acknowledge that we have received them, right? Even before we ask, that we have already received. He points, as it were, to the evildoers overthrown. They shall fade away, and exclaims, there, look, there they are, Sham, Naflu, Sham, there, Naflu, fallen. Who? Po'ele aven, the workers of vanity, aven, avon, a vain thing. Dohua willo yaklukum. They are not able to rise when humbled be'Elohim ha-shofet, by Elohim, the judge, the righteous judge. It is final. And their power, their ability is broken for always, and is broken in all ways. Glory be to the word, sound, and power. Glory be to our Father, B'Shem Yeshua.
כאש ורעם, יעובדו הדלים והרעים מעלי אדמות. לנדלורד וג'אב קמן, תקשיבו לזה.
The wicked man is getting strong, while our churches are getting weak. But tell me, who is gonna lead the way, while our youths them are going astray? We all played a part in this, so why we live in negative? It's not the way we're supposed to live. And we know within ourselves that we're not fooling no one else. We got to repent and love our brothers as ourselves. Oh yeah, and love our brothers as ourselves. Me say the wicked man is getting strong, while our churches are getting weak. But tell me, who is gonna lead the way, while our youths them are going astray?
קח את הימים, קח את הלילות, קח את הצרות, קח את המראות, קח את הכאב, קח את השעות, כי כמוני לעולם לא תוכל להיות. קח את החובות, קח את הזכויות, קח את השכונה, קח את הזיכרונות, קח את החוכמה, קח את האמונות, תרצה אולי כמוני עולם לשנות, קח את הניסיון, קח את ההיגיון, קח את הרצון, קח את החזון, קח את הפסון, קח את השיגעון, קח את העט ביד ויש לך המנון.
Man is getting strong.
הזדים והרעים מתחזקים,
while our churches is getting weak.
ומסביבם חומות בונים.
But tell me who is gonna lead the way?
אז איך את המצב משנים?
While our youth them are going astray. We must make up our mind to seek Him in this evil time. Throw away all our wicked ways. We are smart, the world is wiser. You can even learn from us. Church, let's humble ourselves. Oh yes, and love our brothers as ourselves. Oh yes, and love our brothers as ourselves. Me say the wicked man is getting strong.
הזדים והרעים מתחזקים,
while our churches are getting weak.
בבתי הכנסת נחלשים.
But tell me who is gonna lead the way?
אז איך את המצב משנים?
While our youth them are going astray.
כשילדים חיים בסרטים.
קח את השטויות, קח את הרצינות, קח את הרוגע, קח את העצמנות, קח את החברות, קח את הבריאות, קח את האשליה וקבל את המציאות.
in the walls of Jericho. I'm telling you. Let Jah arise and let his enemies be scattered away. Oh yeah. So if you are wicked man, you cannot enter the kingdom of Zion. Oh no, no, no. If you are evil woman, you cannot enter the promised land of Ethiopia. Better call out to Jah Jah. Oh, I and I, Father. I'm lost. Oh yeah. Better call on to Jah. You better call on to Jah. You better call on to Jah. You better call on to Jah.
Psalm 36.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, his own eyes, his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise, 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 to rise.
And you walk out them, yeah, them are your friend, but them are farm about to maintain.
Well, just the heart can't sweep with fruit.
Good and never.
They are like the trees we can't bloom.
Good and never.
They shall surely fade away. And I know, just the heart can't wash with soap. And there is no bad mind unto good. They shall slowly fade away. Then you go along with tell them stop fight. Can't one of the done up for them a come a act like them a
and you brother, all them good parties, backbite. Watch them kill it pretty soon, them a go. So show them colors like a stoplight, them color down a frostbite. Them hearts so dirty, marks cover with a scotch brite. Them need a whole reservoir until the water to wash off them heart. That could do all in on the back one at the standpipe.
Find out, dirty heart can't sweep with fruit.
Good and never.
They are like the trees they can't bloom.
Good and never.
They shall surely fade away. And I know, dirty heart can't wash with soap. The meditation is so blind hope, and they shall slowly fade away.
Well, Granny tell me, friend, don't sleep. So from the other day you sleep, friend, we don't sleep. A family with the big ass, and everything will come and show it. And your friend, first if you're making money, all leave enough. Last time where you like the sheep, back a little more beef. Watch them killing evil queen. Don't sleep, got them in your sleep, you won't sleep. Boy, boy, boy,
boy. When I call you friend, I see you as my brother. Always lie, but if I can't trust my brother in love, and you say, I got to go, cause I know dirty heart can't sweep it from. They are like the trees they can't bloom. They shall surely fade away. And I know dirty heart can't wash with soap. There is no bad mind and situation, and they shall slowly fade away. Fade away. And anything we no clean and pure, we have cut them out. Put them out early. Smile them and joke, can't hide them deceitful heart. Know them that dirty. From them no clean and pure, we have cut them out. Chop them out early. Smile up in your face, but big disgrace. We know them are dirty. See my friends turn enemy.
No one near them now.
I have to far. No links, no bar, no links, no bar.
When your friends turn the enemy, a bad stuff.
Me say no links, no bar. It don't gone too far. Mommy and me brother, we go war.
Come on, brother. I won't dare you. The Almighty will do with different God stuff, you understand? Hear me now. No fear, friend. I don't want to talk, man. I don't want to sneak up. Hey, follow me now.
keep it strong, yes, yeah, man. Yes, a long, long time we don't want them in a Babylon. They will love to embrace the Rasta man. The lion is so strong, in no wrong. Biggie man, biggie man, biggie man, biggie man, yeah. Yeah, yeah, keep me down. They take down more than 10, but look, I'm still around. Hotter the battle, sweeter the victory. My eyes apple is highly Selassie. Oh, we create so much wonder. El Shaddai, Yahweh, El Elyon, my provider. Rock of Ages, clear for me. Let me hide myself in thee, yeah. Rock of Ages, clear for me. Let me hide myself in thee. In thine own house are thine enemies. So peace within thy gates and in thy walls prosperity. May Jah bless your endeavors and forever be with thee. Once I was hungry, my Father he fed me. Now in his care I will forever be. Rock of Ages, care for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Rock of Ages, clear for me, yeah. Let me hide myself in thee. Let me hide myself in thee. Let me hide myself in thee, yeah. In thy care I will forever be, yeah. So the heathen, they try to get me down. They take down more than 10, but look, we're still